My peoples, man, you already know. The one and only, the big 7 up, man. I hope everybody having a good night tonight, man. What's up with everybody? I just got on here to, tap in with my peoples, man. Bro, we've been building this great organization over here, and I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful, man. It's been amazing, man. I just want to say I appreciate everybody who been tapped in with me over here. For real, from the bottom of my heart, I mean that. Thank you to all my new subs. Man, it's been lit. We've been really doing our thing over here. Man, Eli, what's up with my boy, man? My bro. You already know, man. I appreciate you for tapping in, man. For sure. Man, we've been lit over here, man. So look, man, I wanted to tell y'all about these prison stories, bruh. So look, man, you know, when I first got locked up, bruh, when I was 15, bruh, it was crazy, bruh. So, you know, I get locked up, bro, and I'm just going through the motions. You feel me? I'm going through the motions of being locked up. I had been locked up previously before, you feel me? But it was just for like breaking and entering, things like that. It wasn't nothing serious, you know what I mean? But for this time when I got locked up at 15, it was for homicide. It was different. It was different this time. I didn't know like what was gonna happen at the end of the day. I wasn't sure. I didn't know what the outcome of the situation was gonna be. All I knew is that I had really messed up this time. That's all I knew is that I had really messed up. I made a big mistake and it wasn't no getting out of it this time. You feel me? My mama couldn't save me. I knew couldn't nobody save me this time. Like I had made the ultimate mistake. You know what I mean? Somebody lost their life behind this and I knew that I was gonna have to pay the price behind it. You know what I mean? At 15 years old, bro. So make sure y'all like to laugh for me too, man. Appreciate all y'all tapping in. Thank you. And make sure y'all subbing up too, y'all. So when I get sent to prison at 17 years old, you know, all of that stuff was new to me, y'all. All of that stuff was new to me. Like when I joined the organization that I did, bruh, you gotta think of it like this. You gotta look at it like this. 15, I'm locked up now. You know what I mean? I had been locked up previously for other little stuff, but this time, like I said, it was for homicide. So now it's different. The ball game different. My mentality different. I'm thinking different. I know that I'm gonna be in here for a long time. I don't know how long, but I just know I'm gonna be in here for a long time. And so my mentality different. I'm looking at it like I'm about to spend the rest of my life in here, basically. And that's what they was telling me. It was people telling me that. It was guards telling me that I was never going home. It was, even my lawyer was telling me that I might not ever go home and see the light of day again. You know what I mean? So at 15 years old, this was what was being put into my head that I wasn't never going home ever again. You gotta think how I'm feeling. You know what I mean? So now I'm fighting the system. I'm trying to fight for my freedom and I'm fighting to stay alive inside the system while I'm in there. Because it's people trying to destroy you mentally. They don't want to see you alive. They really want to hurt you in here. You know what I mean? People willing to hurt you just because you got support. You know what I mean? Like, cause I had my mom, bruh. At the time when I just got incarcerated, I was 15 years old. I had my mama still. She was still alive. She didn't pass away until I was 18 years old in prison. But until from 15 to 18, I had my mom still. And she was doing anything in her power to make sure that I made every commissary. She tried to make sure that I ain't never not have money on the phone. It was that type of situation going on, you feel me? So, and when you got that type of love and support, bro, some people don't like that. Some people don't like that you have support from your mom or from your aunt or from your cousin or from your uncle or from your grandma in prison. Some people don't like that, and they try to prey on you because you have support. You know what I mean? And they might not have no support. They might not never get on the phone. They might not never get to commissary. They might not never get to do some of these things that you do. You know what I mean? Go on a visit and get to hug their family and stuff like that. You feel me? So I knew that I was very fortunate in there. And I knew that there was some guys that wasn't as fortunate as me. And I knew that they didn't like me because of that also. You know what I mean? So I kept my distance from a lot of guys. Because I knew that I didn't need no fake friends in there. I knew that I didn't need nobody in there. All I needed was, my mom made sure that I went to the commissary every week, and she made sure I kept money on my phone. So I ain't need to be kicking and bobo with this person and that person and that person in there, because at the end of the day I had time to do. So why would I be sitting in here trying to be making friends with people when I know I'm about to get sent to prison? You know what I mean? It just don't make no sense. So instead of trying to make friends and kick it and hee and ha ha in there, I was literally thinking about, my next court date. I was thinking about, I was reading law books and stuff. I was talking to my lawyer on the phone. I was, trying to come up with a plan to get as least time as possible. You feel me? Because I was facing life in prison. At 15 years old, I was facing life. You feel me? So I'm in there really with my game plan on. I'm talking to my lawyer, writing him letters, talking to him on the phone every single day. Like, I'm trying to figure out like how we can get this sentence reduced down to as low as possible. You know what I mean? Things of that nature. So, because of my age, that played a big part in me being able to get a reduced sentence. I took a reduced sentence, and my age played a big part in it. You know what I mean? Because I was so young, and the fact that another one of my arguments in my case was that fully, my brain wasn't fully developed yet. As a child, when I committed my crime, my brain wasn't fully developed. You know what I mean? Because they say that your brain isn't fully developed until you're 25 years old. So if I was 15 years old when I committed my crime, I was not even in a brain. My brain couldn't even comprehend what I was doing, let alone being on drugs and alcohol while I was doing it. You know what I mean? So you gotta take that into factor also. So once you take all of these things into consideration, then you can make a judgment on someone's case. And so when I was able to figure all that stuff out, they took all that stuff in consideration and gave me a reduced sentence. Now, when I'm going through the motions of this stuff, though, I'm new to this. You know what I mean? I'm new to this. So, when I first go in the county, I remember it like it was yesterday when I get sentenced to the county. They finally bound me over as an adult. I'm 16 years old now, and I'm in a justice center. You know what I mean? If y'all know what the justice center is, I'm sure you got one. It's a justice center in every county and every city. You know what I mean? And so I'm in there with the adults, but they had a specific unit just for the juveniles. You know what I mean? And in this block, excuse me, and in this pod that I was in, it was up to like 30 juveniles in this juvenile tank that I was at. I am Felito, what up? And so, yeah, make sure y'all liking and laugh for me too, man. Appreciate you. Anna, what's up with it? Anna, what's up? Jen, what up? My montage, what's up? John, what's up, my boy? Haywood, I see you. So, yeah, so now I'm in a juvenile center. I mean, in the justice center in a juvenile pod. And it's like 30 of us in there, right? So the first time that they tried me, right, I was going to the shower. I'm on my way to the shower, right? And I leave my door open. Now, I left my door open because in there, they tell you basically in prison not to shut your door, because if you shut your door, that's a sign of weakness. You don't want to shut your door, because as soon as you shut your door, they going to all look at you like you weak. You feel me? Or you scared because you shut your door. And if you're not scared of nobody going in your cell doing nothing to you, then you should keep your door open. You know what I mean? So with that being said, on my way to go to the shower, I left my door wide open. You know what I mean? Basically letting people know that if y'all go in my cell, it's gonna be a problem. You feel me? So, and not even just trying to say it like I was the toughest guy or nothing in there. I'm just saying, like, if you understand where I'm coming from, you know that, like I said, I knew I was gonna have to live in here for a long time. Because I knew that with the crime that I had committed at 15 years old, I knew that my charge had carried up to a certain amount of time in prison. So I knew that I was gonna be up in there for at least 15 years. You know what I mean? I had already had my mindset that I was gonna be away for at least 15 years of my life at 15 years old. I had already accepted it. Wasn't no getting around it. You know what I mean? So boom, with that being said, I'm not gonna be shutting my door every day when I leave out my cell to go take a shower. I'm gonna leave my cell door open. And that's just what it is. You know what I mean? If somebody go in my cell, I'm gonna handle it. You feel me? So boom. I go in the shower, and when I get out, of course, somebody had went in my cell and took something. You feel me? Now, they didn't take no food or nothing like that, but they did take some of my hygiene items. I think they had took like a shampoo and a bar of soap or something like that, some mediocre stuff, you feel me? And it was just to test, it was just to test me, just to see. They wanted to see if I was gonna stand up for myself or if I was gonna let it slide. And now if you let it slide, then they gonna come back and they gonna keep taking your stuff. And it's just gonna get worse and worse and worse every time. You feel me? And then they gonna stop stealing it from you while your back turned, and they just gonna start coming in there and taking it from you like on some just Debo. You know what I mean? Like, give me this, give me that, give me that. You know what I mean? So once I recognized that some of my things was gone, that a couple of my items was gone from my cell, I put on my clothes and things like that, and I hit the day room. As soon as I hit the day room, I let it be known, like in a very loud voice, like, man, whoever went in my cell and took my things from out of there, I need my stuff back in 5 minutes. If my stuff ain't back in 5 minutes, I'm going in everybody's room and I'm taking everything. I'm taking something from everybody's room in here. And I just said it just like that. You feel me? Because I didn't know who took my stuff. I didn't know exactly who took my stuff, but I knew this. I knew one thing, that whoever did it, they was gonna have to pay for it. You feel me? And I wanted them to know that I knew that somebody had been in my room. You feel me? And I wasn't gonna let it go down like that. I wasn't gonna go away quietly. You feel me? I wanted them to know that I wasn't gonna take this on the chin. I wasn't gonna let it go under the rug. No, I was gonna make an issue about my stuff, and I was gonna fight about my stuff if necessary. You feel me? So I wanted that to be put out there immediately. So once I did that, I go back to my room. I gave them a 5-minute countdown to get my belongings back to me. So as soon as I returned back to my room, less than 2 minutes, somebody was already in my room, and they had my stuff already there. You feel me? And he was telling me that. He didn't take my stuff. He let that be known off the rip. Hey, bro, I ain't take your stuff, but I know who did. And look, here go your stuff back. He said, bro, they don't want no problems. They was just playing. They was just testing you. You feel me? Things like that. So automatically, I recognized what type of environment that I was in. I'm not new to being, I wasn't new to being in around scandalous people. You know what I mean? Because I grew up in an environment like that. I grew up in a hood. I grew up in an urban community where, you know, it gets scandalous. It get gritty. It get grimy. It get snakish. It get like that. So I wasn't unfamiliar with how people get. You know what I mean? In the dark side of people. I was already used to that. You know what I mean? At a young age. Make sure y'all liking the laugh for me too if y'all understand where I'm coming from and y'all respect what I'm saying. So look. So when he let that be known, though, I let him know that, you know, I wasn't tolerating that. You feel me? And I understand that they was trying to test me, but at the same time, I wasn't tolerating it. And whoever took my stuff, I wanted the ones. I wanted to fight. I wasn't letting it go down like that. I wasn't letting nobody play with me. I wasn't letting nobody take nothing from me and think that they could get away with it. None of that. You feel me? So I let dude know, like, I respect you for getting my stuff back, brother. But whoever took my stuff, let them know that I want to hit, bruh. Because I don't respect nobody coming in my room, bruh. You feel me? And he respected that. He respected that. He lined it up for me. When me and dude, we had caught the ones in the room. And I whooped them. And after that day, they knew not to play with me. They knew, like, oh yeah, bro ain't going. Bro not going. He not going. He not the one to be played with. You feel me? And I was already 6'2". At the time, I was 15 years old. I was already 6'1", 6'2" already. I was already a big kid, you know what I mean? I wasn't no little dude. Like, I was a tall, slinky dude, long arms, you know what I mean? I was kind of intimidating to younger kids my age, you know what I mean? Because a lot of kids my age wasn't as tall as me. They wasn't as big as me. They didn't have the advantage over me. So, you know, I knew that with my height and my size, I knew that I had an advantage over a lot of kids my age. And I knew they couldn't mess with me physically. If we ever had got into a physical altercation, I knew how to carry my weight around. You know what I mean? So I wasn't never scared of anybody when I was in juvenile You feel me? It was just being locked up sucked. You know what I mean? It just sucked. So after that day though, you know, I did gain a lot of respect from the other juveniles, and they looked at me different from that day forward. No one ever messed with me, no one ever played with me, no one ever came my cell or nothing like that and tried to take anything from me ever again. After that point, after that day, no one ever tried to play with me ever again. And I started like, you know, setting it up to the point where I was like a kind of like a leader in there. You know what I mean? I don't want to say the boss, but like a leader, bro. You feel me? Because I was the only juvenile in a juvenile tank at one point in time that had a homicide. You know what I mean? I was the only person in a juvenile tank, period, at one point in time. You know what I mean? Like I remember it was a point in time in a juvenile tank where I was the only inmate in there, the only prisoner in there for months. It was no other juveniles in the tank with me. It was just me. You know what I mean? So that got stressful. You feel me? I was in there for a homicide. I was the only young kid in there for a homicide. They couldn't believe it. It was odd. No one had ever seen nothing like that for real. It wasn't every day that you saw a 15-year-old, you know, doing something like that. And so my case did make the newspaper. It was high profile in my city. It was crazy. And so I was already used to doing time alone. I was used to isolation. I was used to being looked at like, you know, odd because of my charge. You know what I mean? And I kind of stepped into that. I kind of stepped into that like a little bit when I was doing time because I knew people feared that. I knew people, you know, looked at me different because of my charge. You know what I mean? And so I used to play that to my advantage a little bit in order to survive prison. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, that's the ultimate goal. When you in prison, you want to survive. You want to make it home. You don't want to you know, die in that place. You don't want to, you know, not make it out of there. You don't want to lose your mind in there. You want to make it home. And so I wanted to make it home. And so I had to survive, and I had to, you know, I had to hold my own. I had to hold my own. And so if I had to put fear in people just to make them look at me, leave me alone, that's what I did. That's what I did, bruh. You feel me? And I'm not saying it like that, but in there, it's a dog eat dog world. Don't nobody care about you in there. You know what I mean? It's an ugly place in there. Like prison is an ugly world, bro. Prison is a very ugly place. That's why I don't suggest no one do anything that can get them in trouble, that could lead them to prison, bro. You know what I mean? Because I understand now that one mistake can cost you everything. It can cost you everything. And I'm still dealing with the effects that I did, that I made when I was a child. I'm still dealing with the repercussions of my actions of when I was just a kid, bro. You know what I mean? And that's something that I have to live with for the rest of my life. That's why I be on here telling my story like that. But so look though. So after that though, after I had got into that altercation in there, I became like a leader in there. And the other young guys, they looked up to me, you feel me, in a manner. And they would look up to me because I worked out every day. I read books. Like I told you, I had kind of a good support system in prison. So I had people sending me books. I would read on a regular basis. I would read books every single day. And I read because I wanted to learn. I wanted to learn. Like before I wanted to learn, I was reading books in prison, bro, because it was an escape, to be honest with you. It was an escape. It was a way for me to escape. I read books because you know that cell, them four walls, they get tight. Those four walls get tight. And when them four walls start closing in on you, you'll start talking to yourself. You start losing your mind. You start really like seeing things. You'll start tripping in there if you allow your mind to. So you have to keep your mind focused in prison. You have to keep your mind busy in prison. You have to stay sharp in prison. Because if you don't, those walls will start closing in on you. And it's no fighting them walls. It's no fight. It's no winning. It's no winning. Once them walls start breaking down on you and they start squeezing you, it's no winning. It's no winning, bruh. I done seen the best of them lose. I done seen the best of them lose to that fight in that cell, man. Trust and believe me. So I used to do things like working out every day. I worked out like a monster. If y'all see old pictures of me when I was in prison, I was real bulky, real swole up. That's because I worked out every single day to keep my sanity. I used to do 1,000 push-ups every day, 1,000 squats every day, 1,000 sit-ups every day, 1,000 pull-ups. Like I was a maniac on that prison yard with the workouts. Like I was the guy that they used to be looking at like in there like, man, bro, big as hell. Like when they see me, they be like, man, Seven big as hell, man. They used to be looking at me and want to join me like, man, let me join your workout team, bro. Let me work out with you, Seven. Let me work out with you. And guess what I used to tell them? You could come over here, feel me? You could come rock out. I ain't tripping. But a lot of them couldn't even hang, bro. A lot of them couldn't even hang because I would go past the point of, you know, where it's even a purpose of even working out anymore. Like, you be like, bruh, like, why is we still even working out? Like, we done did so much. Why is we still working out? And I used to go to that point because my mind was in pain. I was in so much pain in prison. I was suffering in prison. I don't, like, if I didn't work out, I would literally have hurt somebody in there. Like, if I didn't work out, I would have literally probably caught another homicide in prison. Like, if I didn't work out, like, it was that bad. Like, so I worked out every day, intense. Like, I worked out intense because it helped me mentally to stay focused and keep my mind sharp and just put all the mess away. Like, I put all the mess away. Then reading was another one of those things that I used to do on a regular basis to keep my mind focused. Reading helped me out so much. I love reading books, and I'm a very big advocate. Randy, what's up with you, Randy? What's up, Lay? I'm a very big advocate. Thank you. Yeah, 7 is a beautiful number, ain't it? Thank y'all, man. Make sure y'all like the live. Killing them softly. What's up with you? I see you. Good night. And so, reading, I'm a big advocate for reading because reading played a big part in me keeping my mental in prison, y'all. I'm just keeping it real. I was reading from the very beginning. In juvenile, I was reading. I would go to the library and I would get books and I would go back to my cell and I would read those books all night long sometimes because I couldn't sleep. And I would just read these books, and when I would read these books, I would just zone out. It's like I wouldn't be in prison no more. I would literally become like inside the book. I would become a character inside the book, and I would visualize myself just being in the book, and I would escape prison. Like, for the little time that I was inside the book, I wasn't in prison no more. And so I found so much peace in that, in reading. I found so much solace in reading because of that, because I could escape when I read. I could become a part of this story. I could be in this world, in this fiction book or whatever it was, even if it was a nonfiction book like Napoleon Hill or Robert Kiyosaki or something like that. I was still, when I read books like that, I would think that I was having a conversation with these guys. I would visualize me actually sitting down across from Napoleon Hill, having a conversation, and him explaining him explaining these principles, like the principles to me. You know what I mean? Like Think and Grow Rich. Like, I would actually visualize him explaining these principles to me. And I would sit back and I would visualize me like having these conversations with him. Like I'm talking to him and him explaining it. I would sit there, I would read these books and I would actually visualize myself talking to Robert Kiyosaki. Just imagine reading a book and then believing in your head that you're actually having a conversation with Robert Kiyosaki. You know what I mean? Like, but this is what kept me grounded and in there. I'm just keeping it real. It's what kept me grounded. And so I'm a very big judge of reading books. So, you know, even if you're on your phone, you know what I mean? and you going through it, just read. Like, just read. It helps out. It helps out a lot. So boom. So as me being a leader at 17 years old in prison, a lot of guys, they tended to, flock around me. They flocked around me. They saw that I was very ambitious. They saw that I was, you know, just focused. They saw that I was different. And you got to understand, I was 15 years old when I got incarcerated. I wasn't a bad kid. I wasn't a bad kid. I was just a misguided kid. That's all. I was just a misguided kid that made the wrong decisions because I was around the wrong people. And the wrong people was misguiding me. It could have literally happened to anyone. It could have literally happened to anyone that was 15 years old. And it could happen to your son. It could happen to your nephew. It could happen to your grandson. And that's why I'm telling my story, because I want you to understand that my story is not far from the next person's. My reality is not far from the next person's. These things happen every single day where I'm from. They happen every day in the urban community. I was looking up to older guys because I didn't have a father in my life. And so I got misguided because the older guys was misguiding me. But I thought that my older guys had love for me, but it wasn't love. It wasn't love. Because if you truly care about somebody and you love them, you would never misguide them. You would never tell them to do something wrong that could potentially put them in prison and take their life away. You would never do that if you really cared about them. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, the people that I looked up to, that I thought was the real ones, the ones that I thought was the OGs, the big homies, the ones that I thought was cool, them guys wasn't cool. Them guys was suckers because they looked at me and they preyed on me. They preyed on me because I was young. They preyed on me because they seen that I didn't have a father. They preyed on me because they knew that my mom was addicted to drugs and alcohol, and they knew that I didn't have a chance. They knew that. And so by them knowing that, they wanted to use me to fulfill their own personal agenda. And that was wrong. And that was wrong. So when I got the chance, when I finally got the chance, and the younger homies was looking up to me that was 12, 13 years old and juvenile, because they looking up to me because guess what? Because I'm big, I got some size to me, and I'm not tolerating no disrespect from nobody. And when they seeing that, they like, dang, big bro, we like Seven. Seven don't gotta join no groups. Seven don't gotta be around them dudes because this, that, and the third. Seven do his own thing in here. Seven make his own moves. Seven don't join no gangs. Seven ain't with them. Seven ain't doing that goofy stuff. Seven ain't crashing out every day. Seven on some different stuff. And so the young dudes that was 12, 13, 14 years old in prison, they was seeing me 15 years, 16 years old, 17 years old. They was seeing me. And they was like, man, we want to be like bruh. We want to be like 7 Up, man, because 7 Up, he hold his own in here. You know what I mean? Instead of me joining gangs, guess what I was doing? I was starting my own organization. And instead of sending my homies to the hole for crashing out over zooms and whims, guess what I was doing? I was making my homies read and work out and go to church. You know what I mean? Because I cared about my homies. And I didn't want my homies to be in the hole. I didn't want to see my homies crashing out every day and so they couldn't talk to their mamas on the phone. I didn't want to see my homies in the hole so they couldn't be out here on commissary day and they couldn't eat good with us. You know what I mean? I wanted them to be out here on the compound eating on commissary day. I wanted them to be able to call their moms every day. You know what I mean? It's already bad enough when you're in prison. You know what I mean? Your mama already worrying about you. Now you want to get sent to the hole where they can do literally anything to you back there. They can take your life back there. Literally. And your mama wouldn't even know what happened to you. And they'll call your mama and tell your mama that you just died naturally. And she'll be like, what? I just talked to him yesterday. And they'll be like, man, he just died. We don't know what happened. He just passed away. And your mama be confused. Like, your mama be in there confused. Like, what? There's no way he could have just passed away. No. Nah, they murdered him. They murdered your son in there because he kept going to the hole, because he kept thinking that it was a game, like they wouldn't do it to him. He was running around with these guys in here acting like he wanted to be down with them. He went to the hole, and the COs already don't like you because of your skin color. They already don't like you. And now when they get you back there with no cameras and nobody that's going that could save you, they they put a rope around your neck. They put a rope around your neck and said that you did it. You know what I mean? Or choked you out to death in a cell and then put a rope around your neck and then just planted the whole thing and just said that you did it. I done seen that type of stuff go down before, you know what I mean? And them brothers didn't do that to themselves. The COs did it. You feel me? But that's a whole nother thing though. But that's the type of individual that I was when I was growing up in prison though. 17 years old, bro. You know what I mean? I wanted to see better for my guys because I had already got taken advantage of at a young age. I already had went down that road. So I knew what it felt like. I didn't want it. I didn't want that for my brother. I didn't want that for the next little homie. Cause I understood I had to go through the raw reality of seeing somebody that you think that care about you. Just imagine you being with somebody every single day. You looking at him like a big brother. You looking at him like a big brother. But he don't care about you. He don't care nothing about you. He don't care nothing about you. All he cares about is that you do what he wants you to do. You feel me? Just imagine being around somebody like that and you thinking that you thinking that it's genuine love. Like you'll literally do anything for this person, but they wouldn't do anything for you. They just using you, bruh. You young, you're naive, you don't even know. You don't even know no better. You don't even know no better. And all they getting you to do is nothing but negative. They never encouraging you to do nothing positive. That's another reason. That's another way you'll know if somebody really care about you. Because if they care about you, bro, they gonna tell you positive things to do, bro. They not gonna try to encourage you to do nothing wrong, bro. That's gonna hurt you. I'm telling you. Take it from me, bro. Real talk. If somebody try to tell you something to do something that could lead you to get in trouble, they're not for you, bro. They're not. And I didn't know that at the time. I'm thinking that, just because he would throw me a couple dollars sometimes here and there, or make sure I got a nice pair of shoes or whatever, made sure I ate, you feel me? That this was my bruh, that he was 100 or that he was cool. Just because he smoked with me and drank with me and stuff like that, I'm thinking that this was my homie. None of that stuff didn't matter. None of that stuff ain't matter because he should have been telling me to go to school. He should have been telling me to get my life together. I was a kid. You think he told me any of that stuff? No, because that wasn't gonna help him with his agenda and his motives. You feel me? So you always gotta recognize when somebody have an agenda or they have a hidden motive, because it may seem like they care for you, but the whole time they just have an agenda. They have a motive. And as soon as you stop doing what they want you to do, they gonna stop. They not gonna care for you. They not gonna care for you. I'm telling you. So I had to go through that, bro. And since I went through that, by me going through that at an early age, I didn't want to put nobody else through that. You get what I'm saying? So when I got a chance, when the little homies, 12, 13, 14, 15 years old, was looking up to me and I'm 16 and I get bound over in a juvenile tank and the little homies is seeing me and they like, man, 7, bruh, you know what I mean? I'm like, look, bruh, I got us. You feel me? I got us. I ain't gonna lead y'all wrong. I got you. You know what I mean? You ain't gotta join them. You ain't gotta join them dudes, bruh. Cause them dudes, they don't care about you, bruh. I know that all they want. I know that all they want from you is just to use you, because your mama send you money every week, bruh. Your mama send you money every week to go to the store. They don't have nobody to send them money to go to the store. So they want you to be a part of their organization so they can say you owe them $10 every store day, and say that you looking out for the brothers, or say you looking out for the cause. What? So you saying every store day I gotta give y'all $10 Cause I'm supposed to be looking out for the brothers. What is the brothers doing for me? What is the organization doing for me? You get what I'm saying? That them all be prey tactics, predator tactics, bruh. You trying to be a predator on people because you think you can, because you think somebody needs you. You think somebody needs you for something. You think that I can't stand alone. And a lot of guys, unfortunately, especially young guys, they couldn't stand alone in prison, bro. Yeah, unfortunate. You'll be surprised. You know what I mean? You'll be surprised, bro. A lot of guys, and some, I'm not saying that all guys is weak, that because they join organizations in prison. I'm not saying that because, bro, it's a hard task to get up every single day and fight. People talk that talk every day, bruh. Like, yeah, you with it, you big and you bad. And you don't care about fighting and this, that, and the third. But just imagine having to wake up and fight every single day. Every day. Not just once, every blue moon. Nah, every single day, Lay. Every single day, Brick. Just imagine. Just imagine, like, all right, even if y'all from the, from the hood where it's rowdy at, you know what I mean? And you used to that type of lifestyle. I'm just saying, just imagine, even if you used to that, when you on the streets, you can literally go away for a minute. You can go away and be like, man, I'm about to go home and relax and chill and get a peace of mind. In prison, it ain't no peace of mind. It ain't no getting away for a second and relaxing and getting away from the chaos. No, you in the chaos 24/7. You in the mix 24/7. You feel me? And that stuff get tiring. That stuff get old. That stuff get draining. You know what I mean? Even at nighttime, you still hearing guys yelling all night long. You hearing guys yelling out their cells just for no reason. Guys just yelling. And you be like, bro, it's 3 in the morning. Why is you just yelling out of your door? Shut the fuck up, my God. But nah, niggas just in the door just yelling for no reason to themselves. They not even talking to nobody. They just at the door yelling. Oh. All night, bruh. Y'all think it's a game? I ain't playing. It's real. You feel me? It'll drive a man crazy. It'll drive a man crazy, bruh. You feel me? Like, I used to have to put tissue and stuff in my ear, bruh, sometimes, bruh, just to block that stuff out. Sleep with my headphones on, bruh, with music playing, just to block that stuff out. I used to listen to ASMR and stuff, bruh, in prison, bruh, just to block that stuff out, bruh. No lie. Like, I used to put my headphones on, turn on some sleep sounds, or turn on some ASMR and just sit back and just zone all that stuff out, bruh. Cause that stuff get draining, bro. To drive you crazy if you allow it. You feel me? If you allow it to. That's the key word. If you allow it to, it will drive you crazy. But me, I learned how to zone a lot of stuff out. Instead of interacting with that stuff, cause a lot of guys, they be so institutionalized. They get so into prison, like they get so in too deep into that prison world that all they know is prison. Like, they get involved in all that stuff. Like, they'll start interacting with that, yelling out the window, out the door all night. Like, some guys, instead of just, zoning that stuff out like I did, some guys will literally get out their bed and start interacting with the guys that's yelling and stuff, and be at the door too, and they'll just be right along with them. And now, instead of one guy yelling out the window, out the door, it's 2 guys yelling out the window now. You know what I mean? Cause somebody else that's ignorant and he's so bored and he don't have nothing else on his mind. He don't have nothing, literally, he don't have nothing else on his mind. He couldn't even create something better to do. You know what I mean? He couldn't even think of anything better to do with his time. So he decides to get out his bed and join the guy that's yelling. And he joins in on the yelling too. Just imagine that frame of mind. That's like insanity. It's like the blind leading the blind. I had to fight these type of battles on a regular basis every day in prison. I'm fighting for my mental. I'm fighting to keep my manhood because it's people that's really predators in here. It's guys that's predators. They will come in your room. They will manhandle you. They will force you and take your manhood. This is prison. This is real. You know what I mean? So if you're weak, people will force themselves on you. They will take you. They will take your manhood. They will do that. You know what I mean? And that's why I had to get me some size on me. You know what I mean? That's why I started working out every day. Because I couldn't be one of those guys that was a young kid in prison and I was skinny and then I turned 18 and I let something big, Tukey Williams type, some Arnold Schwarzenegger type dude just rough me up and take my manhood. That wasn't happening. That wasn't happening with the 7. You know what I mean? But these is the type of things that I'm thinking about as a young kid growing up in prison. I'm worried about these things. When I'm 16, 17, when I'm 17 years old, I'm worried about that. I'm like, man, I'm about to turn 18. Whew. Like, man, they said, man, when you turn 18, they taking niggas. They taking shit. You feel me? I'm like, man, I gotta start doing my push-ups. You feel me? like, bro, I gotta start doing them push-ups. For real. Cause I ain't getting my manhood took. You know what I mean? So I'm working out. I'm in there working out. I'm going hard. You feel me? I'm going hard. I'm doing them 1,000 push-ups. You know what I mean? Because I got to have some size too. When they look at me, they going to say, oh, yeah, he ain't going. They going to say, bro, ain't going. He ain't going. You feel me? So, yeah, I wanted that. I wanted that type of energy. You feel me? Nah, I ain't going. This ain't going to be no easy fight. You ain't taking nothing from me. You ain't taking my food. You ain't taking my manhood. You ain't taking nothing. You ain't taking my bunk. Nothing. You know what I mean? Like, it was some of that type of energy. So, bruh. So, but the little homies, they used to look up to me, though. You feel me? They looked up to me, bruh. And I had to, like, I didn't have to, though. But I did, though, bruh. I did because, you know, it was some guys that I really took a liking to, that I really messed with. You feel me? In there. When I was in juvenile, with some guys that I really built a connection with. You feel me? Like, because we was both young. We was young, you know what I mean? And we was just growing up in prison, bruh, together. You know what I mean? And when you growing up in prison, bruh, and juvenile, like, you start building connections and relationships with other guys because y'all both young. You never probably thought you would be in prison, you know what I mean? Or being faced with being sentenced to life in prison, you know what I mean? You never thought that would be your reality, you know what I mean? But now it is. And so, you know, you talking to some of these guys, and some of these guys could be your brother, they could be your cousin, they could be, you know what I mean? So you sitting back and you talking to them, and they sharing some things with you, and they telling you, like, you know, how they really messed up. Cause you gotta think, none of us is killers, none of us is criminals, none of us is gangsters, really. We just kids, bruh, that just made bad choices, bruh. You know what I mean? We just was kids, bruh. You know what I mean? And we just made some bad decisions, bruh. You feel me? That was just to sum it all up. That's how it went for a lot of us. You feel me? But some of us was really good kids, bruh. Had a lot of potential to become something great with ourselves if we was given the right opportunities. But unfortunately, it was people like the older guys that was misleading me in our lives, that was misguiding us into doing the wrong thing instead of the right things. And that's one thing that I didn't want to be. I didn't want to be one of those guys to mislead the next youth, to mislead the next generation, or mislead the youngins into missing out on who they really was meant to be. You know what I mean? Because I regret missing out on my childhood trying to be cool. I regret missing out on my childhood trying to hang with the bros and hang in a hood and hang out with the gang. I regret it, bro. You know what I mean? Because none of that stuff was productive for me. None of that stuff was beneficial for me. None of that stuff did anything positive for me in my life. You know what I mean? So I regret that stuff, man. I wish that I would have went. I wish that I would have took my schooling more serious. I wish I would have been taking my education a little bit more serious. I wish I would have been, taking life more serious. You feel me? Because when I was younger, I didn't know that, that one day things would be this real. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. And unfortunately, it took for me to have to go to prison for me to learn. And I don't want the same outcome to have to be for the next 15-year-old. I don't want the outcome to have to be for the next 12, 13-year-old to have to see that or witness what I experienced because they made the wrong decision. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm on here trying to holler at y'all, bro, and holler at anybody who may need to be hearing this for real. So make sure y'all liking and laugh on me because we really trying to get this message out and share this message with the youth for real. And anybody who may need to hear this. Even brothers who just came home from prison who may not be clear on what they want to do in life. You know what I mean? Because I understand that point of view too. Because when I came home from prison, you got to think, I wasn't a kid no more. I was a grown man now when I came home from prison. And I've been home from prison 4 years now. So I can actually give some real great advice on how to stay free because I've been free now 4 years. You know what I mean? And so I know the temptations of coming home from prison. I know the temptations of wanting to, revert back to your old ways, your old friends, your old clique, the old life. You know what I mean? I know that. I know how easy it is to revert back to those negative ways that you was doing, just to make ends meet, especially when things might not be going your way. I know how that feel, bro. You know what I mean? And so I just want to let you know and encourage you and give you hope and let you know, don't give up. Don't stop trying. You know what I mean? Don't hang out with those people that you know is not good for you. Like don't go outside today. Don't go to those places that you know ain't good for you no more. You know what I mean? Like stop. Like because all you doing is wasting your time. Because you're not gaining nothing from it. It's not beneficial for you in no way. And if you think about it, it's doing nothing but hurting you in the long run. You need to be really taking your time to be doing something that's gonna benefit you in your tomorrow, for your future. You have to care about yourself more to say, you know what, I'm not gonna hang out with them because I know every time that I'm with them, it leads to some negative stuff. You have to make these hard choices, bruh. Even though you know like that you've been with these people your whole life. This all you know. That's the only places you know. That's the only people that you know that you comfortable around. You know what I mean? I get it. I get all that. But it gets to a certain point, bruh, where you have to make these hard decisions for yourself and say, you know what? I want more for myself. I don't want to be back in prison. I don't want to be back in the same situations that I used to be in, bruh. Like, Lay, appreciate you, Calvin. What's up? Right, read the Bible, you know what I mean? Like stay close to God, you know what I mean? Like I just got done making prayer. Like I just got done making prayer. You know what I mean? I make prayer every day. You know what I mean? I make prayer every day as much as I can. Because I know that makes me stronger. That does keep me stronger, praying and staying close to God, my creator. You feel me? And ultimately, I know that at the end of the day, that's all I really need. Because he will never lead you astray. He will never lead you astray. Like they say, man, never trust a man. Never put your trust in man. Man will fail you every time. Man will fail you every time, but God will never fail you, bro. God will never fail you, bro. Discipline is another one, bro. Discipline is another one, HJID, for sure. You know something. Discipline is very real. This discipline is a main key factor in things, and staying free from prison and doing the right things. Because if you don't have discipline, man, you'll fail every time. You'll fail every time because discipline, it starts with discipline. You got to have the discipline to get up and say, and just start. You know what I mean? It takes a lot of willpower to just get up and start. it takes a lot of willpower to just get up and start. Like, you don't even realize how many people don't even get up and start. So if you get up and you can start doing something, you already 100 times ahead of the next person. Because majority of the people, they won't even start. They won't even get up and start. So if you can get up and start, you already ahead of the game. I'm telling you. After you start, you just got to be consistent with it. You got to be consistent. It's about staying consistent and sticking with the plan. Never give up on the plan. Even when things seem like they might not be going well at that time. Never give up on the plan, because the plan, you know the plan. You know the plan. The plan is in your mind and it's in your heart. You know what you need to be doing. You know already. If it wasn't meant for you to be doing, God wouldn't have put it on your heart and on your mind to do it. You know what I mean? So once you make, and I had to realize that too when I was growing up in this thing, like my intuition. Your intuition is a bad thing, bro. Like in a good way. I mean that in a good way. Like your intuition is serious, bro. Because your intuition is really like the voice of God. And if you listen to your intuition, you'll be a lot better. You'll be a lot better if you listen to your intuition, I'm telling you. So when I was younger, I didn't listen to my intuition. I used to always like go against it. I would always fight my intuition, but I would always have a gut feeling, and it would always talk to me and tell me, don't do this, don't do that. But I would never listen to it. But then when I got older, I started really listening to that voice. That first thing that comes up to my head, I would listen to that thing. And whenever I would listen to that voice, I knew, like, oh, okay. That's the right thing to be doing. And I knew, like, that voice, whatever that voice was, he was not lying. Like, because I was thinking it was me for a minute. I'm not going to lie. I thought it was my own thoughts. But then I realized as I was getting older in prison, I'm like, them not my thoughts. Them not my thoughts. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people, they ask me this all the time, like, how did I survive prison? How did I survive prison? Like, 13 years in prison, how did I do it? Did I get into a lot of fights? You know, did people take my stuff? Did I have to, you know, did someone grape me? You know, things like this. Because these is all valid questions. These is all real questions that really happen in prison. So I mean, I'm open to all the questions. But the thing is, y'all will be surprised. I had a fairly easy bid. I had a fairly easy prison sentence, bruh. And when I sit back and I think about it, I be wondering. I wonder, like, how was my prison sentence so smooth like that? Like, I never was like pressed in prison. I never was like to the point where I was in fear for my life in prison. Like, I never like got any of my stuff taken. Like, I never like I used to see some guys in prison, bro, like going through it. Like, I used to see some guys like really getting taken advantage of every single day. I used to see guys couldn't eat. They used to get their commissary taken every time they would go to the store. I would see guys get extorted. I would see guys get raped. I done seen guys get, oh my God, in a shower. I done seen guys like just really getting put through the ringer in prison, like getting beat up every single day, getting stomped out, just like getting done the worst. You know what I mean? Like just getting done the worst in there, you feel me? And I would always wonder, like, oh my God, like, why is these people going through that? Like, why? Like, you know what I mean? Because I used to feel bad for some of these guys. Like, I would see this stuff going on, and I would feel bad, bro. Like, damn, why not me? And I just realized one day that God didn't want that for me, bruh. God just didn't want that for me, bruh. God put his hands on me. All right, what's up? All right, I see it. I see you. God didn't want that for me. God had a different path for me. God placed his hands on me, and he would literally displace anything that was in my way. Anything that would be in my way so I could have a clear path to getting out of there, he would just remove it. I swear to God. And some of y'all probably like, man, you lying, you lying, you lying. Bro, I swear to God, I would see a problem. I would literally see a problem. You know when you see a problem, like you might just for an example, you'll walk in a store or something. And as soon as you walk in the store, it's a bunch of rowdy young kids in there. And they making trouble. You know what I mean? And they looking like they stealing or something. And you like, oh shit, I hope they don't. You feel me? You like, oh, I hope they don't run into me or try to snatch my bag or try to, you know what I mean? Like, and then before they could even get a chance to lay eyes on you and make you a target, they would be gone. Like, they would be gone. Like, and I would be like, damn, I thought that was gonna be a problem. And that problem would just be gone, like, boom, out of my life, out of my, and I'm like, damn, that's deep. Like nothing could get in my way in prison. Nothing could conquer me. Nothing could, like, God really had his hands on me during my prison time. And I'm grateful for that because, like I said, it allowed me to be able to do things like reading, like developing on myself, like, because I didn't have to worry about a lot of things that the other guys had to worry about. So while other guys was defending themselves and getting involved in riots and gang fights and things like that, I was in my cell. I was reading. I was trying to learn on, you know, how to get better, how to get stronger, how to be prepared for this day right here. I wanted to be ready. I wanted to be ready for this day. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna just show y'all some of the notebooks that I got from prison. All these notebooks was from prison right here. Y'all make sure y'all like to laugh for this, man. These prison notebooks. And I was sitting there in prison and I would just write down every plan that I had, every vision that I had. I wrote books in there. I was really just like taking advantage of that time. Say less, Ari. Join the Discord. Join the Discord, Ari. Discord is in the link in my bio on my channel. Pull up on the Discord. You know you're more than welcome. Anybody over here that subbed up to my channel, y'all know y'all more than welcome to join the Discord and conversate with me and ask me anything y'all want to. We got a live Discord server at 7 Society. Y'all more than welcome to pull up. Just the link is in the bio on my channel. Excuse me, y'all. So like I was saying though, so I'm going through that. You know what I mean? I'm going through that, bro. And I'm like, bro, he just really allowed me the time to focus on what I need to be focused on while I was in there. You get what I'm saying? He really gave me that time. What up, bro? Swoo, what up, Swoo? Nah, not in my server. Not in my server. Nah, we don't allow no disrespect to my server. You more than welcome to come through, lad. It ain't no problems over there in my server. And so yeah, so I never had a lot of issues in there in prison. By the grace of God, I never had a lot of issues in there. Like, I was really able to just focus. I was writing, I got a nonprofit organization. I wrote 2 books in there. I was running programs. I got my GED in there. I was in college in there. Like, I was just on top of everything. Like, I was just on top of everything in there, y'all. Like, cause I was just so focused. Cause I'm just like, you know, one day I'm gonna be out of here, you know. And when I get out, like, I wanna make sure that I never go back. I wanna make sure I never go back to prison. And that was my frame of mind. I never wanted to return to prison ever when I was released. So I just made sure that I read every single book I could get my hands on. I worked out nonstop like a maniac. I would, pray. I would, read the Quran. I would just just pour into myself. I was just pouring into myself just the best way that I could. I cut off a lot of old friends and family that was negative in my life. I made those decisions. It was difficult. It was hard. Because when you growing up and as a kid, all you know is your friends and your family that you grew up with. So it's hard, it's difficult to, say one day, like, I'm never gonna talk to this person again because this person isn't healthy for me. It's hard to say that. Like, I'm never gonna talk to this person again. I'm never gonna see them again. I'm never. You know what I mean? It's hard. It's hard. But sometimes you have to say, like, this person isn't healthy for me. I can't be around this person. You know what I mean? I can't. And that's what I had to do. I had to say, I can't, bruh. Feel me? Appreciate you, Eli, man. Appreciate you, bruh. Okay, so you got a chance to make your Discord. That's what's up, man. Shout out Eli, man. Thank you, bruh. Nah, for sure, bruh. And you gotta be putting in positive things into your family. If you really call them family, you gotta be pouring in positive things into them. You know what I mean? So that's what I was doing. Like, I was pouring into myself, though. More than anything, I was pouring into myself because at the end of the day, I was a child when I got incarcerated. So I didn't know how to be an adult out here in the real world. I didn't know how to, you know what I mean? I never had a job before I went to prison. I had never had to pay a bill before. I had never had any real responsibilities before I went to prison. You know what I mean? I was a kid, literally. So when I came home from doing all that time, I was glad that I did take the time out of my prison sentence to actually think about some of these things. I took courses on money management. I took financial courses and things of that nature to make sure that I was, learning how to properly take care of my bank, learn how to set up a bank account, learn how to, start doing investments and just small things, nothing too major, but just starting off with the basics, starting off with the basics first, you feel me? And that's what I ultimately was learning, teaching myself basically in prison, was teaching myself all this stuff. And I'm glad that I was able to do that because it helped out tremendously when I was released from prison. Now, when I came home from prison, it was a whole another ball game. I thought I was ready to be released from prison, but when I got out, I wasn't prepared. I wasn't prepared for what I saw. I wasn't prepared for what I experienced. I wasn't prepared for any of that stuff. Now, I was preparing to get released from prison, but I wasn't prepared for what I witnessed when I got home from prison. I never in a day imagined any of the things that happened when I came home. I never imagined those things happening. You get what I'm saying? If that makes any sense. So, like, when you in prison, you prepare. Like, if anybody in the chat ever been in prison, you do a lot of preparing before you get released. You do a lot of preparing. You think about everything you want to do when you come home from prison and who you want to do it with. You make all these plans. Like, I'm going to go out with them. I'm going to hang with them. I'm going to hang with them. I'm going to do this with her. I'm going to do this with bro. I'm going to do this with, you know what I mean? I'm going to be with them. I ain't hanging with them no more. Like this, that, and the third. But then when you get out, you think you about to be with them, but them people ain't even how you thought them people was no more. Them people done totally changed. Them people ain't even like that no more. Them people don't even love you no more. Them people don't even mess with you no more. Them people is on a whole nother vibe now. Like, them people is not even thorough no more. Them people not even solid no more. Them people is drug addicts now. Them people that you thought you was about to be with are not the same people. Those people, you thought that you was about to link up with them and that y'all was about to be doing some big things. No. Those people envy you because you look good now. Those people are jealous of you because you've developed mentally now. You're so developed and so ahead of them. They hate that. They hate that shit. That you so focused and so disciplined and so just on your P's and Q's. They hate that. Cause the whole time you was gone, they still haven't acquired that discipline. They still haven't been able to learn how to set up no bank. They still haven't learned how to make an investment. And you talking about making investments to them. That whole time you was gone, they still ain't learned nothing about that. And ain't trying to hear nothing about that. And now you done came home from doing time in prison and you think you about to be talking to them about investments and stuff. They like, bye. They like, bye. You know what I mean? Is you gonna hop in this car and tote this hammer with me and sell this fentanyl with me? Is you gonna is you gonna get in this car? I got this meth. You trying to hit these meth licks? You wanna go to the club? I'm trying to go to the club. And you like, club? Nah, I ain't trying to go to no club, bro. I thought we was about to go to the studio. They like, nah, we ain't doing no studio, nigga. We trying to go to the club, mess with these hubs. And you like, what? Nah, I'm cool. I'm cool. I don't want to go to the club. Nah, I'm cool. And they looking at you like, man, you ain't trying to hang. You don't want to go to the club. What type of shit you on? You want some lame shit. But you like, damn, bro, I just was in prison for 13 years, bro. I'm just trying to focus up. I'm 30 years old now, shit. I'm trying to start a business real quick before it's too late. Shit. You know what I mean? You feel me? I'm on that. But they like, man, fuck all that shit, man. We'll do that shit when we 50 or something. Some people will never change. You know what I mean? Eli, that's my peoples. Eli, my people. Nah, for real though. Nah, ramen noodles was the currency though. For sure they was. He ain't lying though. Or he ain't lying. They definitely was like ramen noodles. What else? Oh, envelopes, or stamps. You know what I mean? Envelopes or stamps was money in prison. Oh, coffee. Coffee was low key big money in prison. I'm not gonna lie. Like like coffee in prison is like Coke. No cap. Coffee in prison is like Coke, bruh. People love coffee in prison, bruh. That's like, yeah, 13 years, Gorgon, yeah, bruh. Nah, I wasn't in no San Quentin, boy. You crazy. He talking about some San Quentin. Hell no, I wasn't in no San Quentin. Thank God I wasn't at San Quentin, boy. I was in Ohio doing my time, bruh, in prison. Lil Debbie's is definitely money in there. I had started my own store too. So I was selling Lil Debbie's, I was selling coffee, like summer sausages and meats and stuff like that, like fish. I was selling that stuff. Envelopes. Yeah, like I was doing that for sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Barber, yeah. Yeah, Barber is a good hustle too in there. Nah, not no Snickers. Not no Snickers. Little Debbie's though for sure. Little Debbie's though. They love Little Debbie's. And you know why they love the Little Debbie's though? Because the guys that did meth and they did cause you know it's every drug in prison. Every drug is in prison. So the guys who would get high like on meth and coke and stuff like that in prison, they would have sweet tooth. They would have a sweet tooth. And they would always come down there and they would be like, man, let me get a box of them Debbie's. Let me buy 5 boxes of Debbie's. I'm going to give you 10 on store day. Let me get 10 boxes of Debbie's. I'm going to give you 20 on the store day, man. I swear to God, man, my mom's going to send me 100. I got you. I'm going to give you 20 boxes of Debbie's back. And I'll be like, shit, all right, man, shit, here. You feel? What I ate for dinner, I ain't ate dinner yet. I'm probably cooking a little bit. So yeah. Nah, for sure. Yeah, we posting this for sure. Yeah, so y'all can come back to this and watch this whenever y'all want to, man. Appreciate y'all for sliding in here. I really thank all my new subscribers, man, for real. I've been building such a great community over here, y'all. I don't even understand like how much this means to me for real, y'all, because this all I ever wanted to do is really share my story and stuff. And this is only the beginning. We about to have the merch coming soon. We about to have the Seven Society merch coming soon, y'all. So make sure y'all keep supporting this live. Like I got a lot of great things going on. Like I'm not just on here just to be on live. Like now I'm really working. We got a lot of great things going on. I got 2 books about to be published. I got the merch line about to drop, Seven Society community merch for us over here. And then we also about to start doing these motivational speeches around the world too. I'm gonna start doing it with the juveniles first. I'm gonna start going around to all the juvenile facilities in Ohio, and I'm gonna start sharing my story with the youth. And I'm gonna start going around to the YOs, the youth facilities, and things like that, reaching out to them. And then, man, the sky's the limit from there. You know, I got so many great things planned from there, as well as the nonprofit organization that we got going on. And I want a lot of y'all to be a part of that. I want y'all to be a part of what I got going on over here. We're gonna start doing drives for the kids, giveaways for the for families that's in need, like a lot of that stuff, like, you know what I mean. So make sure y'all supporting, liking the live, because you know this is the way that we gonna keep getting attention, that we ultimately gonna keep getting recognition, getting the recognition that we deserve, that we need, because we got a lot of positive things that we pushing over here. And I want us to be able to do these things, and the only way that we're gonna be able to achieve and accomplish the great things that I want to accomplish is by y'all supporting and liking the live and sharing the live and continuously being a part of what I got going on over here. I'm not just a talker. You know what I mean? I like talking, but I'm not just a talker. I'm an action doer. I'm a doer. I'm a person of action. I like to actually do what I say I'm gonna do. So I like y'all to join the Discord. I like y'all to like the live, join the Discord. Anybody who's really interested in helping me take this thing to the next level, if you out there and you watching this video, please don't be, afraid to reach out to me. Please hit me up. I got a Twitter also. Long live Mon Dukes on Twitter. Y'all come through, join the Twitter community. I've been trying to build over there. We almost at 500 followers on Twitter as we speak. We almost at 800 subscribers on here, y'all. So make sure y'all continue to like and subscribe. We doing a lot of major things over here, and I really appreciate everybody who take their time out to tap in with me genuinely. And that's what we're gonna be doing, Lay. We're gonna be giving the book to the juveniles. You know what I mean? We're gonna be putting the book inside these facilities because it's necessary. It's necessary that we having these conversations with them. We got to reach them before it's too late. You know what I mean? You see that it's a lot of misguiding going on with them right now. It's a lot of misguiding with them, and we got to bring them back in. We got to bring them back in so they can feel the love, because they feel like they not loved. They feel like they not being heard. They feel like they not, getting the attention that they need, and they not. I'm seeing it. They not. So I want to create something major. I want to create something major for them, to where they feel like they have a platform, bro. I want to give kids, bro, opportunity to be able to be kids, bro, instead of resorting to the streets. I want them to see the streets and think that stuff is lame. I want them to see the street dudes or anybody living that type of lifestyle, and I want them to say, man, that's lame. I want them to change the narrative of everybody saying that the streets is cool, and that we should look at them as the cool people. I want us to change that around. The street dudes is the lame dudes now. You know what I mean? The street dudes ain't doing it. They ain't doing it. The streets is dead. The streets is lame. Anybody promoting the streets is lame. If you encouraging that stuff, you're lame. It's just that simple. You know what I mean? We promoting positivity, productivity. We promoting working. We promoting self-independence, starting your own business, as entrepreneurship. We promoting investment. We promoting entrepreneurship first and foremost. We promote environment. We promoting self-development. We promoting, spirituality, building your spirit. I didn't say religion, I said spirituality. It's a difference. Do your homework on the spirit, not religion, on the spirit. Once your spirit is strong, because that's what you and God have in common, is the spirit. You are the spirit of God. We are the spirit of God. Man is the spirit of God. So as long as your spirit is strong, nothing can conquer you. As long as your spirit is strong, nothing can deter you from doing what you need to do as long as your spirit is strong. You feel what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? 10 years old. You feel what I'm saying? 10 years old, got smoked. And that's awful. And that's awful, bro. You feel me? And just reading that just made my heart hurt, bro. See what I'm saying? We gotta do better, bro. We gotta do better. You know what I mean? We gotta do better, y'all. And I just seen the video today where I seen this dude, older dude, he pulled up on this group of a young dudes, and he was like, what up with it, bro? What up with it, Aches? This older dude, he pulled up on these young little dudes, man, in the hood, and you could tell these little young homies was like 8, 9 years old, like, you feel me? Like, that's it. That was about it. 7, 8, it was a group of them though, about 6 of them though, and the other homie, when he pulled up on him, he was like, man, I give y'all $100, man, if one of y'all go over there and smack that little boy over there. So when he said that, all the little homies was like, who smack, who smack, who smack, who? Like one of them was ready to go and do it. Like, they just like point him out, let us know where he at. We gonna go do it. Feel me? And I was just like, what type of time is this dude on? That's telling them to go do that for $100. But I bet you this same dude wouldn't have gave him $100 to go to school or go home. Like, I do $100, man, if you get off the block and go home, bro. You feel me? That's the type of time I would have been on when I pull up on the little homies. Man, I give you $100, man. Get off the block. Go inside. Don't be out here. It ain't nothing good outside, man. Go in the house, man. Go in the house, bro. Play the game. Go chill. Go get you something to eat, man. Y'all go get y'all something to eat, man, and go back in the spot, man. Go watch YouTube or something, bro. Go live stream or something, little bro. Y'all go live stream. I know y'all be on that Call of Duty or something. Y'all go live stream, man. I'm trying to tell him something like that. He talking about he'll give him $100 if they go smack somebody. I'm like, man, that's so corny, man. I couldn't believe the dude really honestly went and said and tried to get them little dudes to go and do that. I couldn't believe that, brother. He tried to get them to do that. But that's the world we living in, though, y'all. Y'all gotta pay attention to what's really going on. You gotta pay attention to the agenda that they trying to promote to the youth, bruh. They trying to mislead us, bruh, because they want you in prison. They want the youth in prison, bruh. Because they know that the youth in prison, but they just mean that y'all can't make no more kids. Because if the youth in prison, bro, it ain't nobody to make no kids, bro. Because who gonna make the kids? All the boys that were supposed to be men is in prison now. Feel me? All the boys that was supposed to be, y'all ain't hearing me. Most of the boys that was turning into men is now in prison. So now the girls that's supposed to be having babies with these boys that's growing up and supposed to be men, they all incarcerated. So now what the girls gonna do? All the men locked up, what the girls gonna do? All the boys that they was supposed to be messing with, they locked up. So now what they gonna do, these young girls? They gonna either be talking to guys that's their daddy's ages now, or they gonna be turning liking other girls. Feel me? They're the only options, bruh. Cause the guys that was their age, that they was supposed to be talking to, they all locked up. Feel me? So, bruh, you gotta pay attention to what's going on, bruh. You know what I mean? You gotta pay attention to what's going on, bruh. But now I appreciate everybody that's tapped in though, for real. I appreciate everybody that's tapped in with me tonight. Thank y'all. Make sure y'all turn y'all notifications on and make sure y'all sub up. That's what I'm saying. It's both genders. It's both genders. What though? It's females too that do what? Oh, that be locked up. Rock the boxer, Rocky the boxer. What's up, bruh? I see you, man. Appreciate the love. Nostalgic guy. What up? And it's older ones that's lost too. It's older ones that's lost too. Time I take a joke. You silly. uh, oh yeah, we did. Man, we ain't never go to school together. Time out, we went to middle school together. Man, all right, just tell me this. All right, what city was I in? What state was I in middle school? If you know this, you know. If you know this, you know me for real. What state was I in? If you could tell me that, I'ma believe. Cause it wasn't in Ohio. I ain't go to middle school in Ohio. So if you know what middle school I went to what middle school I went to, what state and what city, then I'ma know. Nope, it wasn't. It wasn't. Nope, nope. Nah, you don't know me, Slam. Yeah, you don't know me, Rocky. Layla, Leia, what up? You say single mothers aren't single because of the men stay issues. So, nah, I ain't say single mothers. I said the girls. I said the girls that be young, when they get older, they can't find nobody to be with that's their age, because all the young boys that they were supposed to be talking to that was their age, they all locked up. Nope, one Alabama either. Y'all will never know. Y'all will never know. Maybe one day y'all will know, but nah, y'all wrong though right now. Until somebody that I was in middle school with for real come on here, then yeah, I never know what middle school I went to or what state it was in, because it wasn't Ohio. So hopefully one day y'all do get to find out what middle school I went to. That'll be cool. Maybe one day I can go back to my middle school that I went to. That'll be real live. And talk to them. Cause I did have a teacher that really helped me when I was in middle school. I had like 3 of them, like 3 real special teachers though that I had. It wasn't in KY either. It wasn't in KY. Sacramento, what's up, Sacramento? No, it wasn't in KY. It wasn't in KY. Shout out Sacramento though. We in Ohio with it, man. I'm in Ohio, Anitra. Make sure you sub up too, Anitra, and make sure anybody who interested in joining the Discord, make sure y'all pull up on Discord. I got the link in my bio on my channel too. Nah, I ain't never say. Bruh. Y'all gonna literally sit here all night um and try to think about what city it was in. Think about what city it was in. Appreciate you. Bro, I ain't never even been to the Bronx. Nah, it wasn't Philly. It wasn't Philly either. But y'all gonna find out one day. I'm telling you. Y'all gonna find out one day. Cause when y'all do find out, I'm gonna be doing a stream there, watch. I'm gonna be doing a stream there. And then I'm gonna be and then I'm gonna probably give out like probably give out like how much? Like 30,000. Probably donate like $30,000 to the school, to the middle school that I went to. I'm gonna do that on live stream. Nah, Oak Block Elementary, nah, no. Nah, it wasn't. It wasn't close to Ohio. It wasn't nowhere near close to Ohio. Equation, what up? Nah, I wish. I wish I went to middle school in Hollywood. I wish I went to middle school in Hollywood. But I'm about to get off here though, man. Man, if you want to send money to me, why you need my address, bro? All you need is my Cash App. Why you need my address for send me money? Why you need my address to send me money, bro? Nah, for sure. Oh, okay, okay. Nah, all right, Lay. Make sure you pull up on Discord, Lay. Nah, for sure. Appreciate you, Lay. Thank you so much for sliding over here. Nah, for real, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And it's only the beginning, too. For real, this is only the beginning. I'm about to start putting in mass work over here every day. I'm gonna be over here. So, yeah, we trying to get monetized right now as I speak. We getting close. We almost at 3,000 watch hours. You know what I mean? So, we almost there, y'all. And I ain't gonna forget y'all when we get there either. I swear I'm not. Like, oh, it's Leah. Oh, it's Leah. Okay, my bad, Leah. I keep on messing your name up. For sure. I'm in Ohio, but Bawazer. Bawa. Yeah, I'm gonna get a P.O. box. I'm gonna get a P.O. box soon, bro. Once we get monetized on here, I'm gonna get a P.O. box, bro, for us. Nah, for sure. Nah, for sure. Hey, how you pronounce your name? Okay, Ethiopia. All right, bet. Ethiopia. All right, I got you. For sure. Nah, for sure, Lay. Nah, I appreciate y'all. Nah, for real, thank y'all. Now my lab's been getting really lit too over here, man. I remember when it was nobody over here. Like it literally used to be nobody over here. Like I would go live like every day on her, like, and I never would get nobody to come in here. Just maybe one person, like I swear. And But I never gave up though. I always was just staying consistent, just just being persistent and consistent because I knew that this is what I wanted. This is something that I wanted, and I knew I wanted to achieve my goal over here with y'all. I wanted to build my community up. I love what I'm building over here with y'all. This has been so amazing to me, man, because y'all don't understand like what I've been dealing with since I've been home from prison. After doing all that time away from society, you feel me? It was a lot. It was hard for me. Like it's been hard for me to transition from being released from prison because it's different. It's different in prison. Like I grew up in prison basically, but this is not prison. This ain't nothing like prison. So I had to get rid of all my old prison like ways, and I had to learn new ways to be a better person, bro. Like because I wasn't like I wasn't making I'm not gonna say I was a bad person before I went to prison, but I just wasn't doing good things before I went to prison. You feel me? And then when I got sent to prison, all I knew was how to survive in prison. So when I got released from prison, I never knew how to be like a real productive society member. You know what I mean? So I had to learn like a lot, bro. I had to learn a lot, bro, since I've been home from prison. And it ain't been easy, but we getting there though. I did 13 years in prison when I was 15 years old, bro. And I tell my story. I talk about my upbringing in prison. And now for sure, Leah, for sure. Yeah, it's a whole different mindset. Hey, nah, nah, for sure, nah, for sure, nah, for sure. Nah, and appreciate you, Eli. You be on your P's and Q's over here, man. Thank you, bruh. And man, I don't mind, all the trolls and stuff sometimes, bruh. But sometimes that stuff be messing my mental up. So I try not to pay too much attention to the chat for real because sometimes they be saying some ignorant stuff in there. And I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect, y'all. What's up with it, Queen? Yeah, so some like I'm still learning like how to take all that stuff like all that stuff people be saying. They be saying some crazy stuff sometimes. I'll be still learning how to take all that stuff and not react like I was still in prison. Cause in prison, somebody say something disrespectful to you, you gonna handle it. You handle it like how you would think somebody would handle it in prison. You feel me? You can't just, but out here in the streets, in the real world, you can't just snap on everybody who says something crazy to you. You can't want to fight everybody who looks at you crazy. You know what I mean? You can't operate like that out here. So I'm still learning like how to be even in the midst of regular people, bruh, and not think like a prisoner. You feel me? Like a lot of people don't know what that's like, bruh, and y'all can laugh at it or whatever. But I'm just keeping it real, bruh. But make sure y'all have a good night. Appreciate everybody who tapped in with me tonight. It's on. All right, Eli, man. Thank you for joining the Discord. Pull up over there, man. I might go live over there for a little bit too. So pull up, man.